Hello everyone and welcome into another edition of WST Weekly. My name is Hrabchak. We've got an absolutely jam-packed show today. The Bombers were in Regina for the Labor Day Classic. The Goldeyes clinched the playoffs and the 1 seed in the American Association's West Division. And there's even some Jets news that we're going to touch on in this episode. Let's start it off with the Bombers in Regina taking down the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Maybe the craziest game of the year for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a 35-33 win in the Labor Day Classic over the Riders, and they are now coming home as the number 1 team in the CFL's West Division with the Banjo Bowl on deck. In this game, Zach Collaros was playing maybe his best half of the season before taking a high hit late in the second quarter. He did not return to the game. Coach Mike O'Shea said after the game that it was mostly precautionary, but they will monitor him throughout the week. Chris Strevler stepped in. They moved the ball okay. They didn't score too much when he was in, but they escaped with a win. Saskatchewan made it close. They had the 2-point convert. They went for the onside kick, and they even had a 62-yard attempt at the buzzer for the win that they came up just short on. But the Bombers escape on the road with a win, and they're coming back the number 1 team in the CFL's West Division. After how the offense looked against Hamilton, really struggling until that final drive, it was a really good sign to see the Bombers put up so many points in the first half. Zach Collaros looked great. Stanley Bryan on the offensive line didn't play this game after leaving with dehydration the week before. A big loss on the O-line, but the O-line played okay. Only 1 sack for Saskatchewan, and Zach Collaros over 200 yards and a touchdown pass before leaving with an injury. The Bombers held onto the ball, only 1 turnover. Their defense played well when they needed to, and they escaped with a win. Now the Bombers return home for the Banjo Bowl, and of course we will be monitoring Zach Collaros' status all week long. Whether he's in or it's Chris Strevler, that drastically changes the Bombers' game plan. And maybe you see Stanley Bryant come back next week. As Mike O'Shea said leading up to the Labor Day Classic, he expected Bryant to play, but just didn't really feel right on game day, so he's maybe going to play next week. That would be a huge boost for a Bombers offense that looked bad against Hamilton until that final drive, but really carried that momentum from the final drive into this game against Saskatchewan in that first half and looked dynamic as they have all season long. That's now 3 straight wins for the Bombers, and of course the Banjo Bowl is sold out. This will be a crazy atmosphere on Saturday afternoon at Princess Auto Stadium. I can't wait. The Winnipeg Goldeyes had a heck of a week. They had a 5-game winning streak and then ended off the homestand with 2 straight losses. But against the Gary South Shore Railcats 3-game series, they swept that one. Then they welcomed Lincoln to town, won the first 2 games, putting up 12 runs and 11 runs, respectively, and then dropped the last 2, 4-1 and 6-3 to Lincoln to close out the season. But they not only clinched the playoffs, they have now clinched the number 1 seed in the American Association's West Division. Last season, they were last in the West. Now they're first. This is a true worst to first story in the American Association, and the Goldeyes will have 1, maybe 2 home playoff games at Blue Cross Park. They chose the Sioux Falls Canaries as their first round opponent, and this is a best of 3. They're going to start on the road. So Wednesday, September 4th, the Goldeyes will head on the road, play the 1 game, and then return home. And maybe they'll need that 3rd game on Saturday, but definitely playing Friday night, 7 p.m. There will even be fireworks after. Grab your tickets, playoff baseball in the first week of September at Blue Cross Park. I'm super pumped to watch the first place Goldeyes play a home playoff game on Friday night, and the fireworks. Everyone loves those. Make sure you're grabbing your tickets, goldeyes.com/tickets. We do have some Jets news to touch on this week. First off, Fan Fest was announced. It'll be Saturday, September 21st. You can get your free tickets online. Tons of stuff going on. It'll actually be a morning skate for the Winnipeg Jets as they play a preseason game at home against the Minnesota Wild that night. So a full day of hockey Saturday, September 21st at the Hockey for All Center, and then down at Canada Life Center for the first preseason game of the season for the Jets. Number 2, Denmark's men's hockey team has qualified for the 2026 Olympics. Nikolai Ehlers, obviously he's a big part of that team, so it was nice to see them qualify, and they'll be taking on some other Jets from other nations at the 2026 Olympics. Number 3, Liz Hood and I dropped episode 3 of the Winnipeg Sports Talk Deep Dive series. The Winnipeg Jets, if you hadn't heard, made a massive trade last week, Rutger McGroarty for Braden Yeager. So naturally, our latest deep dive had to be about Yeager. Strengths, weaknesses, trajectories, NHL comparisons. That video had it all. It's on our YouTube channel right now. Go check it out and hit the notification bell so you don't miss videos like that in the future. Number 4, the Winnipeg Sports Talk ticket pack is going to return for another season. That was a massive hit last year. It was awesome seeing everyone at those 4 games that we chose. This upcoming season, there might be a little changes. Tune into the show this week. Hustler will detail the differences in the pack from last year to this year, but great news, the Winnipeg Sports Talk ticket pack is returning for another season. Now it's time to hand out the 3 stars of the week, but before you do that, hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss content like this in the future. I usually drop these videos every single Monday morning, but with the Labor Day weekend, this one's coming out on Tuesday, and yesterday you got the Brayden Yager deep dive. Go check that video out if you haven't already on the channel. As for this video, let's get into the 3 stars of the week. My 3rd star of the week is Nick Dembski. He only had the 3 catches, but he did have a massive touchdown early in the first half from Zach Collaros up the seam. A great play. He had the 3 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. That's 21.3 yards per catch. He's slowly been coming along. He had a really good game against BC a few weeks ago when he caught another touchdown pass, and he got another one in this game. Hopefully Zach Collaros can return to the Banjo Bowl so that Nick Dembski can keep the good times rolling. He's my 3rd star of the week. My 2nd star of the week is Goldeyes outfielder Miles Symington. He put together a fantastic season, 329 batting average, 7 home runs, 65 RBIs, 391 on base percentage, and 119 hits. In one of the offensive explosions for the Goldeyes this week, Miles Symington had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in one game. He had a fantastic night, fantastic season, and he'll look to continue that into the playoffs, which start this week for the Winnipeg Goldeyes. Miles Symington, my 2nd star of the week. My 1st star of the week award should probably just be renamed the Goldeyes Pitcher of the Week award because they have dominated this all summer long. This week, it was Landon Barassa with the best outing, 7 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 0 runs, 9 strikeouts, and only 1 batter walked. An unbelievable performance. Between him, Joy Matulovic, Travis Seabrook, the Goldeyes easily have the best pitching staff in the American Association. It's why they're the number 1 seed. And if they're going to go far in the playoffs, Barassa, Matulovic, Seabrook, Lamson, Reiniger, they're all going to have to play a huge part in this team going far. Barassa, his latest start going into the playoffs, looking great. 7 innings pitched, 0 runs allowed, and 9 strikeouts. A great outing from my 1st star of the week, Landon Barassa. So here it is, the upcoming sports schedule here in Winnipeg. This is always my favorite time of the sports calendar. We just had the Labor Day Classic. Now we get the Banjo Bowl here in Winnipeg. Like I said, this game is sold out. It has been sold out for a few weeks now, so it's going to be crazy at Princess Auto Stadium. The Winnipeg Goldeyes, worst to first, they are in the playoffs this week. Like I said, starting on the road September 4th, but then returning home Friday, September 6th for that home game with post-game fireworks, playoff game. Let's sell the place out. Goldeyes.com/tickets. Go check out the Goldeyes at Blue Cross Park. Valor FC, they'll take on Ottawa as their season continues on September 9th. Racing continues at the Downs. The National Football League kicks off this week down in the States on Thursday night. And Jets training camp is just right around the corner. That's why this is always my favorite time of the year. We got the Banjo Bowl, Goldeyes playoffs, NFL starting. Jets are right around the corner. This is a great time. That's the upcoming sports schedule here in Winnipeg. And that's going to do it for this edition of WST Weekly. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss videos like this every single Monday morning. And like I said, if you haven't already, go check out the Brayden Yager deep dive video, a very thorough analysis of his strengths, weaknesses, trajectories, all the things that you want to know about Brayden Yager, the newest Winnipeg Jets prospect. As for this video, enjoy the week, everyone. It's an absolutely jam-packed week of sports here in Winnipeg. I'll see you all Friday night at the Goldeyes game and then Saturday at the Banjo Bowl. Have a great week, everyone.